All you'll be dreaming about is what will make you better. All those wonderful opportunities you've always been dreaming about, how will they come about? Nothing happens until you dream. That's what Mr. Sanders said, and I quote, nothing happens until you dream. So from now on, look at how your dream life would look like. All right, let's define a business idea. What is a business idea? What is a business idea? A business idea is a concept that can be used to earn profit through product or service creation. It identifies a need or problem and provides a solution. An example is an affordable solar light for rural households. So what are we talking about here? Look at the operative words in the definition. It said it's a concept used to earn profit through product or service creation. Creation, not through product or service activity. That one is not yours. You're just riding on the back of what somebody else is doing. So an idea has to do with creation, and it must identify a need or problem. Not just identifying it, a business idea must be able to do what? Also solve a problem. Okay. How do we understand a business idea? Characteristics of a good business idea. How do we know a good business idea? It solves a real problem. Market demands must exist. It must be feasible and profitable. It must be unique or innovative. It must be scalable and sustainable. It must be business oriented. That is profit motivated. It must be realistic. It must present a genuine opportunity. It must be honest, and it must be timely. Now, please pay attention. Please pay attention. One of the reasons why our ideas don't succeed is because they don't have these characteristics. So what you have developed probably is an idea, but it's not an entrepreneurial idea. These points that I have mentioned are what makes a very good business idea. Number one, the idea that you are proffering, does it solve any real problem? This is a major question you have to ask yourself. So if you have developed an idea that is not addressing any problem, then yes, it's an idea, but it's not a very good business idea. No, it is not. So this idea that you have generated, what is the motive? Why did you develop this idea? Businessmen can play for glory. They can play for trophy. That's why you can see a businessman open a restaurant. He can open a boutique or probably a makeup or salon shop that's running to millions and is not making any profit. All he wants people to point and say, this is my business. No, 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 no. That business idea must be business oriented. Now, this business idea must present a genuine opportunity. It must identify a need. So you do not just wake up to say, look, I have a good idea. Does it identify a need? I'll give you an example. For those of you who are into animal husbandry, between poultry, goat rearing, cattle rearing, and all of them, the most profitable is piggery. The most profitable is what? Piggery. So somebody can come and say, oh, I have developed a business idea to add value to the peak process. Now, watch this. It's a good business idea, but does it fulfill an identified need? Let's say you live in Port Harcourt, for instance. Of course, it's a good business idea. Assuming you are listening to me from Kano or you are in Taraba State, is piggery or processing that pig a good business idea? It is not. So it's not fulfilling an identified need. It does not fulfill an identified need. When you develop this business idea, it's not enough to say that this business idea is good, but does it meet market demands? When you want to develop a business, the business starts from the market end. You do not begin to develop an idea and look for market. Part of what you look for is that there is market for your idea. If there's no market for your idea, no matter how good that business idea is, you will find it very, very, very difficult to make any profit out of it. So when you are developing your business idea, the market demand must exist. It's very, very important. The same business idea that you are developing, it must be unique and innovative. Sometimes it's funny when people submit their business ideas or business plans, and all they are doing is to recycle people's ideas in a different way. It's not a business idea. Well, it could be a business idea, but it's not an entrepreneurial idea. Any idea that you have developed must be unique. It's something somebody have not done before. But let me educate you a little bit here. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. For instance, let's take something as little as plantain chips. Now, it's everywhere. But I'm not saying that you cannot look at plantain chips and develop an idea, because when you're developing an idea, it can add from every facet of the product. You can say, okay, people are lacking immunity, and a lot of people consume plantain chips. So what should I do? I need to add zinc to it. But make sure that it doesn't exist anywhere. If you check and nobody has remembered that a lot of people consume plantain, and you can capitalize on the fact that immunity is dropping, a lot of things with toxins everywhere, then it makes a lot of sense for you now to add zinc. So this becomes very, very unique and innovative. But most times when we read about business ideas, you see people all recycling. Please stay away from internet. Stay away from AI. Stay away from Google. The next few minutes, I'll be showing you how these ideas are generated. You must learn how they are. Your idea must be scalable and innovative. Please pay attention. Sometimes a lot of young people come to me and they tell me that they have a business idea. So when we start looking at the funding, the money aspect of it, 100 million. Where do you want to get the money? Tell me where you want to get the money. Where do you want to get the money? So it must be feasible. Your business idea must be feasible. Not just being feasible, it must be sustainable. Not just being sustainable, your business idea must be scalable. I'll give you an example. Assuming you want to build a palm oil processing plant, for instance. Maybe you've developed very unique ideas around how it is being processed, and you're doing like maybe 200 ton of palm oil production plant. Now, that's about 100 million. Good idea. But what I expect you to do is to break it down. That's why I said your idea must be scalable. Start with 7 tons. So when you are presenting your plan, you can say very well, I want to do a palm oil production facility worth 100 million. Then down, you now put that the first phase is going to be 7 tons. And with less than 10 million naira, you can set up a 7-ton oil processing plant. This is what I mean by scalable. Nobody is saying that you should not have great ideas. Nobody is saying you should not have great ideas. It's fine. You can have great ideas, but it must be scalable. It must be scalable. Okay. Now, I've always taught you people about ethics in business. Ethics in business. I want to warn you, if you are developing any business idea and from the one your motive is fraudulent, that business will fail. Your business idea must not be fraudulent. It must be honest. This is so very important. Everyone who has developed an idea with the concept of defrauding people has always regretted it. And I can assure you, no matter how much money it gives you in the short run, in the long run, that business will close. Your business idea must be timely. It must be at the right time. What do I mean? Some of us come up with ideas, but these ideas are not for the moment. Yes, at a particular time, it could be okay. Let me give you an example. Now, the conventional Christmas, the Christmas hampers, they're always wrapped with this raffia kind of packs. Now, somebody can come up with a business idea that, okay, I want to change it to plastic, something somebody can, after taking away the gift, reuse. Perfect idea. Now, assuming it was in July, you came up with this idea. As good as it is, it's not timely because nobody is buying Christmas hampers in July. So your business idea must be timely. The business must be at the right time. So these are the characteristics of good business ideas. Okay. Now, I tried to talk about how do you generate these ideas? What are the sources? Which is the major challenge. Where do they come from? Because your assignment today is you must generate a business idea. If you don't generate it, you're not part of this program, and of course, it's a failure. Now, your first stop about developing a business idea is about you. It comes from you. Since you were born, you're praying against those things. You're blaming God that He has done wrong to you. Those things you have been questioning your existence. Why should you live? Why is your life like this? Do you know those things actually source of your millions and billions? Nature is teaching you, that is pointing your billions to you. Think. You don't have to think. It's pointing to you, your personal experience. So, as an entrepreneur, you don't have to sit down to wail about your challenges, your problems. These are sources of money. This is how you are going to make money. Because if you do not, you have a problem. Some of us have been into quite some experiences which we think are not good for us. But what did we do with them? Nothing. Nothing. I'm going to give you some funny examples that will make you laugh, because I don't want to get into very big things, because the whole idea is also to let you know that you don't need you don't need to think too much to develop an idea. There's a musician overseas that he's played music for years and nobody knew him. All of a sudden, the girlfriend that he loved so much broke his heart. He went back and wrote a song. This song won award. It won Grammy, and it topped the charts for years. Let me bring it back home. All of you remember our local artist here, Burna Boy. Burna Boy was playing good music, but when he had an issue with his girlfriend, Steph London, he wrote a song. What's the title of that song again? Last, everybody will have breakfast. It was funny, but that's what gave Burna Boy the bank. That's what gave him the bank. And today, he's everywhere. So don't think too far. Why I chose this example is I don't want to get into very serious experience so that you think that it must be hard things. So I don't know what you're experiencing right now. Those are your millions waiting for you. Now, if you're an entrepreneur or if you are already in business, you look at every day your customers come and they can make complaints. They make complaints to you. So, those complaints are also pointing you to your billions if you are an entrepreneur. They are supposed to make you think. Let me give you a simple example of what is happening today. 3 years ago, a kilo of chicken was 1,500. A kilo of fish was 900. All of a sudden, today, a kilo of chicken is 4,000 something. Fish about 3,500 naira. What went wrong? Your customers are complaining, oh, they've stopped eating fish, so I have stopped eating chicken. So what do? And you're a fish farmer and you're a poultry farmer. What do? This is an opportunity for you to become a billionaire. So you start asking yourself, what made this expensive? What's the issue? Feed. Poultry feed. Fish feed. So, do you know that anybody who can put things together today and get a feed of 25 kg that can sell for 10,000 naira will become an instant billionaire? If you can get a formulation of feed that can sell for 10,000 naira, in the next 1 week, you are an instant billionaire. There's no two ways about that. So, there's nothing you are doing today as business that don't have problem. This is where you look at. It doesn't matter what your business is. I just took this one as an example. Solving problems. You must learn how to solve problems. Your laptop that you use today, are you aware that in the past, laptop, if anything spoils, they remove it? It's like you have a surgeon. The people that used to work on laptops are like surgeons. Any part that is bad, you just remove it and change a new one. So, one day, a man called Nathan said, but human beings get sick. they don't cut them into pieces. They give them something and they recover. That was how the antivirus was invented. This man now brought an antivirus. So when your computer is sick, instead of cannibalizing the hard disk and all that, you give it put the antivirus, run it and heal it. That is how to solve a problem. That is how to solve a problem. So you have to begin to think. Your problems are meant to make you rich. Your problems are not supposed to make you weigh you down. Those are for non-entrepreneurs. That's why for an entrepreneur, there's no loss. You never count loss as an entrepreneur. No matter what happens to you as an entrepreneur, just like the Bible says, you count it all joy because it's all about giving you money. You must also learn how to follow trends, technologies, and lifestyles. What do I call trends? Please pay attention. We have different kinds of trends you need to watch. We have environmental trends, we have economic factors, we have social factors, we have technological advances, and of course we have political trends and regulatory trends. So let me explain that to you. Because after this class, you must develop a business idea. Now, environmental trends, I'm talking about issues that had to deal with the health. Remember some time ago we had COVID, we had Ebola. Sometimes we have some, natural disasters like erosion. We have some sicknesses. These things happen. Now, you have to, as an entrepreneur, you watch the trend. You watch the trend. So it's time to think about how you can benefit from that trend. The first time Ebola came, you remember that this sanitizer, hand sanitizers before were only sold in pharmacies. It's somebody who discovered that, look, this Ebola is spreading. Instead of allowing pharmaceutical companies to produce and sell it, he now started importing it. That was how you saw it in supermarkets, following trends. Following trends. Now, you have to also watch economic factors. Economic factors. You can see how our currency is floating back and forth. You see how the inflation is floating back and forth. Yeah, a lot of people are complaining that things are going wrong. But as an entrepreneur, you need to burrow down, look deep to see what can I create out of these economic issues. Are you aware that a lot of people are addicted into importing some products? You can bank on the fact that they cannot get foreign exchange and find a local substitute that can make you very, very rich. A lot of people have gone to the bank smiling, observing this trend. We also have social factors. Look at the problems we have today. We have banditry, we have drugs-related issues, so many issues. It's not for you to sit down as an entrepreneur and cry. It's time for you to wake up and see how you can develop some business ideas that will make you get money from this. We have also technological advances. In the past, when we were using regular phone, the first phone that came out was the big satellite phones. A lot of people couldn't see that something was coming. Now the cellular came out. When cellular came out, the GSM now came. Do you know that when GSM came, a lot of people never believed it? Because the people who are using these cellular phones were rich men. So they felt this business is for rich people. But today, all the people that invested in MTN are among the richest people in Nigeria. People who built entrepreneurship activities around those top technological communication companies are very rich today. So you must continue to watch the trend. What else is coming? AI is here. A lot of technologies are coming. As an entrepreneur, you have to continue watching the trend and move ahead. Move ahead and get yourself ready to exploit it. Another popular trend that we have is politics. Politics. Now, 2027 is coming. All of you are just there gossiping on internet. You don't know that there's money waiting to be made for you. A lot of opportunities are in politics. So in this political trend, what kind of opportunities do you think you can get there? This is how an entrepreneur asks himself questions. You have printing, you have publishing, you have catering, you have hiring of canopies, a lot of things you can exploit. You even have photography. You have a lot of things. You have spirituality. A lot of things are in politics. So you can actually observe a lot of trends to also develop your business idea. Now, a lot of people will ask me, some of these things are expensive. Some of you are very scared in entering into existing markets because they think it's crowded. So, but I want you to write something down. There's no business existing today that there's no gap. No matter how well that market space is placed, there's always a gap. So as an entrepreneur, what you do is to exploit those gaps. You exploit the gaps. I'll give you examples. Let's take water, for instance. You can see that there's water everywhere. It's just like everybody's into water business. And you find it difficult to invest because you can't compete with the big water. Eva Water, I don't know their names. All those waters that are trending, you know all of them. Now, yes, I agree with you. They have customer loyalty, the people know them. But what you're looking at is, if I invest in water, how can I make money? You look for the gaps. What are the gaps? All the big water companies are corporate entities. Coca-Cola, Nestle, all these companies, they don't work weekends. That's a gap. They work Monday to Friday and they go. That's a gap. So you can build your weekends as your marketing days when they are not available. Nigeria here, we are very religious people. Our Sundays are busier than normal days. Your marketing can be weekends. So you can actually exploit those gaps. You can exploit the gaps. Some of you who have been to England, you will see that when if you're a man, and your waist size is probably 45, you can't find a dress. If you're also a woman and your size 14, you will not, in those high-end shops, you may not find a dress. But when you come out from that London high streets, on the road, you will see all these Pakistanis and Indians selling. What are they doing? They are exploiting the gaps of what is not in those shops. What are the gaps? Plus size. They sell big sizes. Some of those big sizes of clothes you cannot find in those shops. This is what they capitalize on. So don't be scared of getting into any business. What you do is you check for the gaps. Where are the gaps? This is what you exploit. So I hope you people are communicating because I want to have a lot of engagement on this one. I'm hoping that we will have a live session where we'll have a live session where we can look at this. Okay, please, if you have special questions, you can type it as we progress. Okay. There are steps in developing business ideas. What are the steps? Now that you have understood how to develop business ideas, what steps do you follow? Now put it on the screen. The steps to develop business ideas. Number one, you must identify a problem or an opportunity. You must generate possible solutions. You have to research the market and the competitors. You must test feasibility. Talking about it, both financial, technical, and market feasibility. You must also select the most promising idea from the ideas you have. And of course, select a proper business model. Okay, back to me. Now, this leads us to the steps of creating a business idea. So it will lead us to four major steps of a creative process. Please put it on the screen. You saw what I said, I showed you before. So this will lead us to this stage. Now, so these are the stages of a creative process. Now, I have shown you several ways how you can identify a business idea. So how do you start? Now, please pay attention. When you are preparing for a business idea, or when you want to identify an opportunity, don't just wake up and say, oh, I have seen an opportunity. Yes, have it in your mind, but don't be in a hurry. Because that first stage is very, very, very important. I'll give you an example. You see, if I take 2 or 3 of you now and say, give me a business plan on how to set up a restaurant. Watch what is going to happen. One of you, his proposal will look like Mama Put. The second person, the proposal will be like a normal restaurant. You know, the regular middle class restaurant. Then the third person, you will see a high class presentation. What has happened? What has happened is these 3 people are revealing their exposure and experience. That's what they are revealing. The last guy probably lives in the town, in the city, and he has visited a lot of restaurants. So he has seen that you can actually put AC in a restaurant. You can put satellite cable channels in the restaurant. You can create children's area in a restaurant. All of those beautiful things you see in top restaurants. So what am I saying? When you now get a business idea, don't jump into it. Sit down to research. Research. A lot of us think that this social media is for pictures. It's for you to follow your interests. Anything that is your interest, you follow it so that you'll be having updates. Some of you here are fashion designers. When somebody gets to your shop, all you'll be seeing there is Telemundo. You've never tuned to a fashion channel to watch what other designers are doing. So this is what you need to do. As you get such intuition in form of an idea, you have to consume yourself, immerse yourself on a daily basis, begin to refine it, and come up with a very brilliant idea which everyone will like. So, when you have passed this stage, you move to the next stage of incubation. Don't be in a hurry to jump out to say, oh, I have very beautiful ideas. Don't do that. You will enter into an incubation stage. Sometimes when some of you come for a presentation, maybe you're looking for a grant, they will tell me, oh, I've invented one product. This is how it works. I'll keep quiet. When you finish, I see nothing. Do everything to develop a prototype, no matter how small it is. I was in Abuja once. One guy came and said, he made a very wonderful presentation that he developed egg powder. Actually, the boy got the grant, actually. He developed egg powder. So his justification is that when you buy egg in the market, it cannot stay more than 2 weeks. So that this egg powder, if it processes the egg into egg powder, that it can stay for 6 months. So it's good for exports. It's good for people in the maritime. People, in the chef life is wonderful. He brought a sample. So you know what I told him? I said, don't worry. Tomorrow, come with your gas cooker. You will fry it in front of us. So the next day, he brought it and he fried it. I said, eat it first. He ate it and all of us ate it. Wonderful. So this is what you call incubation. Whatever your idea is, test it. You have to explore. You have to experiment. Assuming you maybe a caterer and you develop a unique food, we are looking for people who will develop food. We are tired of eating fried rice, egusi soup, ogbono soup, fisherman soup. We want people who will develop new menu. Since we are born, this same food. That's why I usually, when I'm doing grant, restaurant people, I fail them very fast. Because they're just looking for money to continue what other people are doing. But immediately I see that you have a menu, you have passed. Immediately I see a menu on your proposal, and you have passed. I'm giving you people tips. So when you have that and probably you're doing outdoor catering, what do? If somebody calls you to prepare, the regular menu, egusi soup, vegetable soup, rice and all that, add this your new menu and see whether people will like it. You'll be lucky that some of them will come, leave the traditional food and eat it. That means that it's going to work. That your idea will work. People will like it. That's what you call incubation. Now you move to the next level, which is illumination. Please also look at the former list I gave to you. I'm just merging it with this. Illumination is all about getting a little bit spiritual about your ideas. Please, you don't joke with this. Don't joke with this. There's no man who have succeeded in life that is not spiritual. Nobody. I don't care what you believe in, whether your persuasion. But if you are doing creativity, you need some level of spirituality. What does that mean? Because as a man, as a human being, there's a level your brain will stop. There's a level your reasoning will stop. Now you need something higher. You need a higher intelligence to possess you, to show you the way. So for those of you who are fanatics in the religious faith, this is how God blesses. God does not give anybody money. It is at this point that God blesses your idea. God doesn't give money. So when you develop that idea, it's time to pray and God will show you better ways to refine that idea. This is how it works. It will show you how that idea works. So no matter what you believe in, this is the time to seek some divine intervention. That's illumination. Now when you have passed this stage, and I bet you will see something different. So I hope people understand it, because all of you are carrying ideas. You can see that you have done nothing. You need to go back and start again. Now when you finish this stage, you move up to the evaluation stage. You move up to the evaluation stage. This is the time you need to reflect, criticize, and assess your idea. You remember when we wrote our projects in school, I think chapter 2, they will tell you to go and do literature survey. Do you know why they ask you to do that? So that you don't think you have invented something new. So you need to go and check what people have done. So in this evaluation, what probably you are thinking is an idea, it's maybe something somebody else have done. So you need a mentor, you need people who have been in the business. They will add and subtract. They will reflect on your idea, they will criticize it, they will assess it. Now at this point, it's either that idea will be dropped or it will move forward. Now you move to the final stage, which is implementation. So it is only at this time you cannot come out to say, I have a business idea. And I bet you that if you follow this method, there is no idea that you generate that will not make meaning and at the end of the day become useful. Okay, I talked about the evaluation process in the 5 stages of creative process. So look at the next slide. So this is how you can evaluate your ideas. These are the questions you can ask if you want to evaluate your ideas. Is there demand for this idea? What are the customers? Is there a competition? Are there resources required? What are the risks and returns? These are some of the ideas you can ask. You can also use a SWOT analysis. I'm sure most of you know what SWOT analysis. You evaluate the strength, weakness, and opportunities and threats. So these are some of the evaluation tools that you can use. All right, we are almost out of time, so I need to be a bit fast. Okay, now, when you have defined your idea, you need to develop a business model. So this business model is about defining how your idea will make money. So this is where and also plan your marketing. So that's the next stage. You develop a business model. Now, when you have developed the business model, next slide, the next thing is how do you fund your idea? How do you get money to fund your idea? So these are some of the ways you can fund your ideas: through bootstrapping, using personal savings, family and friends. You can use angel investors or venture capital, government and NGOs, and of course, some bank loans. Some bank loans. All right. As we round up, I want to talk to you about some of the mistakes you need to avoid. Some of the mistakes that you need to avoid. There are some mistakes you do need to avoid. Please pay attention. Number one is don't fall in love with an untested idea. Remember how I took you to a creative process. There's a stage I called incubation. Never fall in love with any untested idea. Please, you see all this music you see that traded Davido, Wizkid. If you know how many people listen to those songs, you will marvel. During this your test, never ignore market feedback. You know, some of us are very stubborn, and we carry our stubbornness in everything we do. You can never ever correct them. You are bad tempered, you don't know how to talk to people, you're very unforgiving, they will never believe you. So this kind of people, it's difficult for them to develop an idea because they can never accept feedback. Never. Avoid competing your competitors without innovation. Don't go and hear that, oh, plantain chips is making money to plantain flour, oatmeal, all these things that are trending. Please don't just present it the way it is. Find something. I gave an example with adding zinc. It may not just be that. It could be in preservation. A lot of people don't invest money in preservation. You can get a vacuum sealer to present your product. That will make it last longer. So never copy your competitors without innovation. That's not good. Now, in developing your business idea, never underestimate your costs or competition. Sometimes we develop something, it also comes back to our natural attitude. We feel that we have arrived, nothing in this world will make this not to work. That's not the attitude. Always believe you have a competitor. It makes you to wake up. When you think you have competition, you wake up. It makes you to work harder. You think better. Finally, the entrepreneurial journey is difficult. You're going to get frustration. You see, in developing that ideas, you will fail. You will fail. you will fail, you will have challenges, you will have challenges. But please, don't give up too soon. Part of the major characteristics of an entrepreneur is perseverance. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. You will succeed. All right, this is where we're about to end the class. But before we end, I want to remind you that great business ideas come from curiosity, they come from creativity, and they come from problem solving. Don't forget to always research, test, and refine your ideas. Focus on creating value, not just making money. This is where we end the class. I hope you all enjoy this class. So if you enjoyed the class, give us a thumbs up or write something. Now your assignment, develop a business plan from your business or any new business. You don't have to submit it immediately. I want you to take your time, think through it, and develop a business plan. This is where we end the class. Thank you and God bless you. See you next week. Bye.